and welcome back to Game On, where we use sports to talk about everything related to mental health and psychology. Today we're going to talk about decision making. In just about every sport, there are so many decisions that have to be made with maybe just a split-second advance notice. And we're going to focus on the quarterback in football. The plan is obviously to get the ball to his receiver or her receiver and score a touchdown. They draw up a play. But when the play happens, there are so many in-the-moment decisions they have to make. They might have the first read, the second read, the third read, maybe even a fourth read of what happens. And then you have a linebacker who's barreling down at them, about to tackle them. Maybe they get away from them. They have to make a split-second decision on what to do with the ball. Do they run? Do they throw? Who do they throw it to? So on and so forth. Now, of course, every quarterback wants to be successful. But if what they value, which is to get a complete pass and move the ball down the field, and they want to do it perfectly, and they don't want to take any risk, they want to be sure, guess what's going to happen? They're going to be smashed and sacked because they can't be sure. Every point of the game, there's some element of risk. And it's not that they have to be okay with having an incomplete pass, throwing it away, interception, getting sacked. Of course not. They don't want that. But what they do have to be okay with is not knowing for sure if it's going to work out. They can have confidence. They could do some calculation and have an informed decision. They prepare, they practice, but they can't be sure. They can't avoid risk. There is so much risk. So there's risk in the game of football and in other sports. And a good, skilled player, even if they're super athletic and super talented, has to accept that there is a risk. They don't want the bad outcome to happen, but they have to accept that there is risk out there. And they have to be okay not knowing if that's going to happen. I'm willing to take that risk. And that translates to real life. Because on one hand, anxiety is really important. It protects us. It's a survival instinct. On the other hand, when it goes off the tracks, it really prevents us from holding to the values that are important to us. So if I value my health, but I go overboard and I don't eat anything because I'm afraid that it's not going to be good for me, guess what? I'm going to be impacting my health. And so in order to function at a level that we all want, we have to accept that there's risk. I don't want the bad outcome. I don't want to be ill. I don't want to be sick. I don't want to get hurt. But I have to accept not knowing, because guess what? We're all in the same boat. We don't know what the future holds. We don't know. Today's election day. Obviously, I'm not going to get into politics. We don't know what the future holds. But what we do know is that we don't know the future. And even though we don't want a negative outcome, whatever we envision that to be, we have to accept that a negative outcome is possible. And it's not in our control. And so we have to be okay not knowing, otherwise we're going to be trapped by trying to know and trying to be sure and trying to be in control. And all of us, you included, actually handle a lot of uncertainty all the time, maybe without even realizing it. We're just surrounded by uncertainty. So to think that we can't handle uncertainty, and that's what some of the thoughts might tell us, is that number one is something bad is going to happen, number two is that I can't handle it at all, that's false. Because you do handle a lot of uncertainty, and you do go into situations, and not necessarily does the negative thing happen or doesn't happen as bad. So the message is that we can't avoid risk being there. What we can do is learn and practice to accept that the possibility of risk is there, even if I don't want the negative outcome, and I can build up my ability to handle not knowing if that outcome happens. Have a great day.